Here we go. I know. Hello, guys. Hello, welcome back. Huzzah! Yes, huzzah! Welcome back to podcast Desu. I'm the host this evening. Hello, guys. Neon Desu, and I brought here with guests, as you can see, and we're on video this time. We've upgraded. I know a lot of people. We're moving up in the world. I know a lot of people have been asking for that, so I am happy that we've managed to do it. How is everybody? I'll let these guys go through one by one. We've got Chief, we've got Aldo, we've got Haytom. Just introduce yourself, guys, to the chat, and yeah, let's do this. How is everybody today?
Wonderful.
I'm doing good. Who's gonna start?
Oh wow! Who's gonna start?
Aldo, you've been to all the dang concerts.
Go Aldo.
Me? Okay. Well, I'm Aldo Metal. I've been a Babymetal fan since 2014. I am owner administrator of Babymetal Texas Facebook group, and I'm an admin at the Babymetal Worldwide Facebook group also.
Damn, that's a lot of things, man. How'd you cope with that? That sounds like a lot. Is that something you do for fun?
Because I was an admin with a lot more groups.
Yeah.
And a lot of the groups there was like constantly fighting and you know, like really raunchy pictures and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just couldn't handle that. So I started, I didn't start my own group. Another friend of mine started it, but he willed it over to me. So now I'm the owner of Babymetal Texas, and I keep it pretty strict there. You can fuck around if you want, but nothing dirty, nothing, no arguments, no, don't diss anybody, don't diss any other groups either, or bands. Don't say, hey, this group sucks or whatever.
You've been told, guys, Haytom laying down the law.
Yeah.
And what about you, Aldo? How you doing, man? So I brought you on board for your Babymetal knowledge, as it was. So
yeah.
how was everything for that? Like, how did you get involved with it, dude? Where does it all start?
It started one afternoon in my mom's kitchen. I was watching YouTube, and I came across "Give Me Chocolate."
Give me chocolate. That seems to be the popular thing for most people at the minute. I see a lot of reactors always go for like.
It had just come out. And so it came out on my recommended videos. And first time I watched it, I was like everybody else, what the fuck. But I liked it. There was no denying the fact that I actually loved it. It was like, I don't know what it is, but it's good. I like the music. And everybody talks about how like they can't handle the girly, the what that to me added to it.
Yes, I totally agree.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I'm so far beyond that now as well.
Yeah, it was like that was awesome to me at that time. Everybody else was talk shit about it, but me, I'm like, I love that. That added to it, man. And then. I'm watching it because I watched it about 5 or 6 times. The first time, and Moa did her little smile and go head over heels for Moa.
I think everybody is at the minute. Yeah, everybody is. So that seems to be the other decisive thing for Babymetal. So I've got to ask the question. Everybody here, put you on the spot. Are you in the Moa camp or are you in the Yui camp?
Definitely in the Moa camp.
Haytom?
Yui.
Chief?
I'm in the whole camp.
No. Come on, there's got to be an answer.
Oh, God.
It's not like I don't like Moa, okay?
Yeah.
But just, Yui is just, gosh, you're just so sweet.
Yui has this face that you just like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, Yui is beyond adorable.
To me,
more personality is what I like.
Yeah. For me, I think
is missing now.
Yeah,
bit.
definitely.
I mean, you never get that back, those three. And that's why when I watched, we just talked about it, the Red Night, Black Night last week,
Yeah.
I watched them both. And that just made me remind me that while they're still phenomenal and the girls that fill in are amazing, it's still different. And you can feel it.
Yeah.
There's a different chemistry.
I wouldn't say it's a negative thing though. To be honest with you, I mean, for all the comments that I've seen on the internet, a lot of people saying, "Oh, you can't get that original free back," which is true. There is something special there that I think probably will never ever be replicated ever again in terms of what those three original girls did. I mean, you see it quite a lot now with Tosser Girls, for example, and you can see what they're going for. Like you can. But there's only one free that will ever exist, and that's them. But you can kind of see where they're going with the Avengers and stuff like that now. I came quite late to Babymetal, so I kind of missed the whole Yui thing. So my first experience with Babymetal, obviously, currently is with Moa. So maybe I have a slight biased opinion with that. Seeing Moa live and seeing Sue and seeing the Avengers. But to me, they are just as magical as those three. But I understand that seeing those three and the originality of it all, and then obviously for me now going backward for Sakura Gaikuin as well, Sakura Gaikuin, sorry, and seeing the chemistry of them, seeing them grow up, seeing the affinity and stuff like that. That like there is a longing now for that. There's an attachment without ever knowing them, if that makes sense, because like I said,
that's why I kind of nothing against Riho, nothing against her because she's a beautiful girl, she's talented, but I tend to go towards more Momoko and Kano because of that. Because of their background. You know, if you watch and get involved with Sakura Gakuin, I've been involved with it from the beginning too. You know, from 2014. Yeah. So. You get to know each new member that comes in, and you get to get attached to them, and you get to learn about what they're really like.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Momoko and Kano. I know what they're like, because of Sakura Gakuin.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea who Riho is. I mean, I know who she is.
Yeah, you know who she. Yeah.
I didn't follow her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's that. I think they fit perfect in there. I know Yui's, it's not the same without Yui, but I think a Sakura Gakuin girl would fit in perfect in there.
What about you? What about you, Haytom, as well? I just want to say a big special thanks to Haytom as well. Haytom is from my Patreon. I don't have many people on the Patreon, but he has supported me from the very, very beginning. Absolutely fantastic dude, and I wanted to do something on this show to show support and the love for my Patreon members as well. So Haytom's from there as well. But also he is, as you can tell from the hat, as you can tell from the t-shirt, an avid Babymetal fan. Where did it start for you, mate? What made you wake up one day and go, what's just happened in my life? Where did these girls suddenly come from?
Well, I have a musical background, so I listen to a lot of stuff. I used to play in bands and all that stuff. Some pretty good, some pretty big stuff. But I found them by accident in late 2016, and believe it or not, I was listening to her because you got blocked by So Young. All right,
my first copyright strike. Yeah,
you're welcome. She's a Korean singer. She's, in my opinion, the best vocalist in the world. She was great, and it's quite unfortunate. I might actually go back to her now and do some link and sync. Now my feed started popping up, and you need to, because there's some amazing stuff. In my feed started popping up other Asian artists.
Oh, Haytom's
and I don't know how Doki Doki Moink, I'd be like what the hell? And
breaking up slightly there, Haytom.
Houston, we have a problem.
In the mix, I had the initial reaction of, what the hell is this? Like everybody does.
Yeah.
Then I'm listening to the music and having the background I do, I'm like, man, I like heavy metal. And then you mix in the girls, and they're cute, and then they're so friggin' young. I think they're 12 and 13.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, what cute girls. And the song was really good, if not a bit more towards their early style, which was, J-pop mixed with heavy metal. period. And then they've evolved from that. But that was my first experience, and I just started getting more and more, and I couldn't let go. And it's just, I've been hooked ever since.
Yeah, well, nice one, man. And I know a lot of people from the chat are going to be from Chief, the main man above me, channel as well. Dude, how did you fall down the foxhole? What crazy video or person got in contact with you and said, dude, Babymetal, go and check them out?
Well, okay, so it all started November on a cold and rainy night. No, I'm just playing.
On a cold and rainy night.
So,
Settle in, folks, settle in.
it was November 2019. Yeah, I was gonna say last year, but goodness, I can't remember what last year is. This quarantine has got me all messed up. Anyway,
Yeah, I know.
I was going through, because like I'm a musician, I like music, you know. There's a guitar, you know. I've been playing guitar for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was into the heavy stuff. You know, I was into like freaking fast pace. Got to be like most death metal, you know, quick, just scales. Everybody's running sweeps all over the place. But then I started to like branch off into other music like pop and all kinds of stuff, dubstep, and then but I feel like I kind of like, I don't know, I feel like I listened to everything. There was nothing out there, so I just started reacting to videos to get people to show me new music. I was using people to get me to show me new music. I was like, please tell me what you got. But it was actually my friend, my best. I went to high school with him, but he moved away, and he just was like kept up with me through YouTube.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was checking out K-pop, and I was really enjoying the Asian music scene. And he was like, hey, if you like K-pop, you should check out, since you are in the metal, you should check out Babymetal. I know of them. You should check out this video called Karate. And when I checked that out, that's when I was like, what is this? Because it was like, it had like kind of like the, you know, that pop aspect with the metal. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then I went to Road of Resistance. And Road of Resistance was like, it was everything I loved. Yeah. And I was just like, oh my, because it had the guitars, it had the freaking, that's the first time I seen a commie band. And I was like, what is, even talking about it right now, it's like, I'm getting chills. You know what I mean? Because I remember the first time I watched it and I was like, and I just remember thinking like, how does nobody know about this? This, like, I seen the crowd, I seen the girls running, the flames, the flags, the siren when it's like, and then I think Sue
was iconic.
But anyways, from those two videos, I was like, yep, I'm in.
I'm sold.
Sold.
Oh,
in it.
Yes, so for me, I like I said, watching the old Legend shows again, and even though I've reacted to those videos, but coming back to them and seeing the entrances of those shows, the whole crowd, das. I'm watching that, and I said to my chat, I'm like, how do you explain that to people? How do you turn around and go, this is really cute metal, but we're in a massive stadium.
Cute Satan worshippers.
And they've got 80,000 people shouting death at these cute little girls that are on stage. Where, you know,
that's metal. I
with
love it.
With their devil horns. No, it's really good.
Leon, I think they've outgrown the term Kawaii and metal.
Yeah.
I think they've gone past that now. It's just baby metal is what it is. And personal opinion, I believe they've changed music and they're going to continue to do it. And I mean, because you've never seen anything like them in 2 years, and how their albums have, it's amazing, and they've certainly changed metal music.
Yeah. Do you think they'll continue to evolve then? Because obviously with the 3 albums that have come out now, there's a massive noticeable difference between their debut album to obviously now where we are now.
Every single album is different.
Yeah.
Every single album.
Every
song
song
went in a different direction.
Like,
you started out cute, then you went metal, and now you're going, you know, like a fusion of world music with metal. I mean, you know, who knows where they're gonna go next?
Yeah, well, that's gonna be my next question. I'm gonna ask the chat this as well. Where would you guys, and the chat as well, and I'll be picking a few out in a second. Where would you guys like to see Babymetal go next? Like, if you could pick like maybe a genre or a rough idea of maybe the direction they should go. I mean, it will most likely turn out that Babymetal will go and do something completely different and completely unexpected.
I always thought they should do Latin, but they already did it.
But they already did it. Do you think they could do something?
They could have gone Indian too. But, oh well, never mind. They did that too.
Yeah.
They haven't done pirate. No. They did pirate too.
They've done it all. They've gone
running out of ideas.
They've running out of ideas. They've done pretty much everything. Do you reckon they'll go full circle though? Do you reckon they could do and go back to the cuteness, or do you reckon because of how old they are now, maybe, and how much they've progressed, that maybe going back that way is a bad idea? Or do you think you should not go back and maybe look forward?
Hey, look, here's what I'll say about that is yes, and as they grow themselves become older, more mature, they got different desires, different tastes. Their tastes change.
Yeah.
Yes, they'll still do some of the old songs for concerts and classics. I don't think, I could be wrong, I don't think they'll try and create that ultra cute song. You can't go back to 2011, 12, and 13 and do that again.
No.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
They're grown women now.
Well,
And
yeah,
I just don't think they can.
Yeah, some of the comments here I'm just going to point out from the chat is a lot of people saying, there's one here from Jens who says, I don't care, you just trust Koba to do the right thing. Is that something you guys agree with? Do you trust Koba that whatever he's doing? I mean, he's not been doing too bad so far, so you'd think,
so far it's pretty good.
Yeah, you'd think that he'd carry on doing the right thing. We've got another comment here. We got one from Nipro who says that he'd like them to be more experimental and maybe a little bit more mature as well. Is that something you'd like to see them go in as maybe they're getting older?
I think that's what this album did.
Yeah,
it was extremely experimental and very, very mature.
So
you know,
do you reckon they could go further with that? Because we see it quite a lot with girl bands that start off quite
that's
young.
The thing is like,
as they get older, they want to branch out and generally mature and do other things. Do you reckon that's something that's going to happen to Babymetal, or do you think Koba will keep them in line with this very, very, shall we say, clean look that they've got going now? And do you reckon that will be something that will stay Babymetal?
I'll tell you.
No. You never know.
You never know.
That's the thing. They'll throw left field, pitches at you.
Sure, Koba's a genius, but these girls have a contract, okay? This is part of my getting older. If they want to change and do something else, when they re-up for 8 more years of Babymetal, they're going to do something else, like Huey did, essentially.
Yeah.
She just did it earlier for whatever reasons, and that's up for debate, but eventually they're going to outgrow this, and Babymetal cannot last forever, all right? They just can't.
This is what I would like to see. I would like for Sue and Moa to go on their own, and then for them to reboot Babymetal with 3 brand new girls and start all over again. I'm telling you, there's money in it.
Yes. Well, that's always the thing, isn't it? I mean, that's always,
because she's gonna get too old for and she's gonna want to do things.
Yeah.
So
her desire was to be a singer-songwriter. She's not doing the songwriter part. She's only doing the singing part. Yeah. I know she's got that desire in her. Same thing with Moa. Who knows what Moa's real desires are.
So,
what we see is the persona.
Yeah, Loon's just come up with a really good point here.
Interviews
in the comment
that they
section. She just said, Miku can be cute. She goes, you don't need to be 12 to be cute.
That's true, but there's a huge difference in the Asian culture. Cute's a big thing. You go to Korea, they have 25, 26-year-old K-pop girls acting cute intentionally. Half of them hate it. They're grown women and they don't like it, but they do it because the culture likes it, and it is cute. That doesn't mean they want to do it. It's not as heavy in Japan, but it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that comes down to it as well is Amuse. As big as Amuse is now, and as many names as Amuse maybe have, there is no shadow of a doubt that the biggest property IP that Amuse owns is Babymetal. Mm-hmm. Without a shadow of a doubt, dwarfs everything else they do. As the girls get older, do you see the power of the girls maybe shifting a little bit? Or do you reckon if Amuse can't make the girls do something, do you reckon they'll just end it there? Or do you reckon if Sue and Mo want to go in a certain direction that maybe is against Amuse, do you reckon in the future
I don't think
that could be a possibility?
I think Koba has free reign on what he wants to do with Babymetal. So Amuse doesn't have, I don't think, they have control over Koba, but not necessarily over Babymetal itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever
you bite the hand that feeds you, and Babymetal is feed. To your point, in a very large way. Kova can do what he wants. But the question is whether will they let Sue and Moa, do their thing, or when they disagree, whatever. Eventually, that's what I was saying before. It's going to come to that. They're not going to do this forever.
No, they're not. They're not.
They got other things they want to do, and they'll find another way to restart a new Babymetal and call it, mini Babymetal, or I don't know, whatever they're going to call it, and they'll do something else. But eventually, this will run its course. Hopefully, not in the next 3-4 years. I expect it can't go much longer than that.
Yeah.
Do you think? So do you reckon
Tokyo Dome was gonna be it?
Yeah. Do you reckon the next album's gonna be the last album?
No, I think they'll probably come out with one more.
So
one more album.
Yeah, one more album, and then do you reckon that will be it?
And that might be it.
As long as it takes them to get them out, and the space in between, probably one more album and maybe an individual song or two, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. 2 solo albums?
Yeah, the solo albums.
They would bank on that shit, dude. 2 solo albums, a Sue solo album, and a Moa solo album.
Yeah.
I mean, they bank on that. Works. I would assume that as, hey, when Babymetal ends and you want to do your solo thing, we're here to do it with you.
Yeah.
If the Muse's smart, or Koba, whoever, they've already sewn them up for that.
Yeah.
If they signed on for them.
I mean, Babymetal's now has such a following. They're effectively the Asian version of Spice Girls, I think. I mean, they could split up, come back in 10 years with one tour, and make an absolute shit ton of money. Effectively, could you imagine how much money Amuse, Babymetal, Cobra would make if they brought Yui back for just one show?
Oh, dude, they'd make bank.
They'd make big bank. They'd make big bank.
They would make bank,
man. I promise you, they've tried.
They've tried. So,
oh, absolutely.
With the Moe and Sue.
The Moe.
The Moe. So that's the vodka kicking in. With the Sue and Moa duo dynamic now, is that something the band should focus on? Do we go forward now focusing more on Sue and Moa, which they have effectively done? I'd say for the marketing now for the last year or two, it's pretty much just been them two. But we've seen a big thing, obviously, with the Metal Galaxy show that's just come out. I thought personally, it might just be me looking into things here, but I thought it was very, very telling that Rise of Resistance song to see all the Avengers get a fair amount of time to say goodbye, to exit that show, to all be on stage for a significant amount of time, more time than I think they've ever had, any of them, in the last 2 years. Do you see that being the point at which direction they'll go in the future now? If they go, or do you reckon they'll stay with the Sue and Moa duo?
Well, I think they will go in that direction, but they're doing it slowly on purpose because there was a lot of people, myself included, Yui, Moa, Sue, and by God, that was it. And they knew that. Yeah. And they knew there was an attachment, a sentimental, whatever. So slowly they work in whoever, there's going to be a third, probably permanent, if there isn't already. But they went to just Sue and Moa. That was intentional. They talked about Yui. She'll always be part of the band. They said this, that, and the other thing. Of course, she was one of the founders. But it's been a slow process, intentional, to not step on all the Yui fans' toes, to be honest with you, is what I think. And to just work somebody in and to find the right one that's going to meld as three.
Yeah. All right. So here's another question. Obviously, I'm asking these questions subjectively to get, obviously, good opinions from this podcast. Not they don't represent my initial thoughts. But a lot of bands have chopped and changed. I mean, look at Iron Maiden, for instance. Bruce just comes in, completely changes the band. There's no fuckery there. He comes in, he does the job, the band lives on. Is there perhaps a bad judgment in the fact that the Avengers have maybe dragged this out for a long period of time? Or do you think they should have just come in, maybe taken 2 months break, made an announcement that there's a third girl, and moved on?
I think what Aldo said about like the 3 girls, you know.
I know there would be there would be initial backlash, but do you reckon dragging it on is hurting longer, or do you reckon they should have just come out and just
make a decision one way or the other?
Yeah.
Personally, keep it Sue and Moa and rotate. That's my personal opinion. I don't think Yui's replaceable, but if you're going to do 3, then do it.
Then do it. Yeah. What about you, Chief? What are your thoughts?
I was thinking Aldo said how he's going to place all 3 girls, but you know, I feel like Babymetal has such a strong like fandom and performance that you would have to train the 3 girls. So if you are going to replace them, bring them in. Like, you know how they have 3 girls, they have the Avengers. What if they are going to eventually replace them? All of them, Sue and Moa, and then Sue and Moa maybe do their own thing because now they're mature, and then those 3 girls will be the new Babymetal. I don't know, just crazy.
Tell you what, that's a hell of a good point actually. Could that work? Could
you're training them, you know?
Yeah,
because if you look at
if Babymetal was not to exist, and like I said, Kano, Ryo, and Momoko come in, would that be accepted?
Right now.
Some will, some won't.
Good luck replacing Sue's voice.
Yeah.
That's going to be the hard thing, is replacing is Sue.
See, to me that is Babymetal. Sue's voice is Babymetal.
Yeah.
But if I'd like to know people from the chat here as well. If you had the choice, would you have Babymetal just if Sue and Moa were to walk? Would you just end it there, or would you want something else to continue? Would you go with 3 girls, 3 brand new girls, completely different band? Is that what you do, or would you give the Avengers maybe a chance to
different band, different name, maybe the same venue type thing, and Kobe? There's only one Babymetal, and we're already seeing it.
Yeah.
You can't replace that completely. Name it something else.
Name it something else. Like I said, personally, like I said before, you've seen it in a lot of bands now. Tussle Girls, again, example. First thing that pops in my head that brings it up. Would another band from a Muse, or would another Babymetal, or 3 separate girls, if it was a Gaikuin girls again, would that have the same effect a second time round to this time?
I don't know, dude. I mean, like me personally, seeing that that performance from Maya, Marine, and Kano, that brought me back to the early days of Babymetal, and I was like, and they actually sounded good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna stop you there, dude. Loon, because again, Loon with the magic list has come up with actually a very, very good point. He goes, it depends what they do. She goes, I follow Sabero. I'm probably butchering that band's name. And they changed all 3 members, but they carried on. So we have seen it done. I like it can be done.
Yeah, it can because it happens all the time in Japanese music industry. That's full of that, dude. It's full of it. The morning musume of today is not the same morning musume of 3 years ago or 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how K-pop and the Korean K-pop, which is huge right now, that's how they operate. Girl band in, girl band out, in comes a new one.
Yeah.
I'm going at once.
Keep the name, keep the aesthetic, keep the whole original idea.
Yeah.
But new girls, because it's Sue and Moa are gonna get old.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't be up there at 30 years old still doing this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're done in 3 years. I guarantee it.
So so we're giving it probably 3 years because it does get harder to think of them doing this in their 30s.
Since they were 11 and 12 years old. I mean, experience something else. Even though this has been great, they've done stuff they never would have done.
I would love to follow her dream and become a singer-songwriter. And go off. That's what I would love to see.
It'd be interesting to see where the girls would go with that. Because I know there is a difference between Suzuka and Su Metal. Like, sometimes we like to pretend they're the same person, but they're like 2 separate entities. You've got the stage presence of, like I said, Sue, and then Suzuka. She has different tastes, different styles. I mean, for the very few pictures that we see in public life of her, she's in tracksuits, pink, lovely face. Yeah, she's a completely different to Sue Metal herself. So it would be very interesting to see where she would go.
We don't really know anything about these girls.
No. I mean that's the hard thing, I think.
I mean, there's nothing out there other than that they're. I mean, if you find anything else, it's a freaking miracle, and good luck. But I've never seen anything held so tight to the vest, and nothing escapes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I think,
too, by the way.
That's definitely. I think that's definitely a good thing. When I first got into baby metal, and you get that buzz, you get that hype, and you think, oh, I've got to find out what Sue does. I've got to find out what Moa does and stuff like that. And then you find out there's nothing. It's a little bit depressing because you want to follow these people, you want to know what they're doing. But on the plus side to that is when content drops, it gets everybody hyped. There's a buzz. And at the end of the day, the first priority should always be safety for these girls. I like the fact that there's millions of people all over the world, and they can go out in public if they want to.
You know why we don't hear from Yui still, and she hasn't been with them for a year?
So
anything out there about Yui?
Go on. So you cut out there, sorry. Do you reckon we'll hear something from you? I mean, this is the big debate as well. Now we're going to go back in circles here. I'm back to Amuse again. Obviously, she is contracted to Amuse. We have heard again absolutely nothing about a solo career. Absolutely nothing about acting. It's been 2 years and a bit now. You'd think
music contract runs out.
Music contract's going to run out. You'd think we'd hear something. But there's been absolutely nothing.
Sometimes it takes a while, though. Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does. But do you reckon this is her way, maybe or Muse's way of helping her fade into obscurity?
Could be.
Do you reckon she's had enough? Because it's all guesses at this point.
We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know what's going on in the offices, and the meetings and shit. We don't know. We really, no one knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
We don't know for health reasons, if she left because she's just tired of it. We all have guesses. We all think. I personally have a whole nother option to it, but why she left. But nobody knows. That's the thing. The only reason we haven't heard from her, I believe, is because she's still under contract. So when she left Baby Metal, she can't do anything.
She can't do anything else. So is that what we think? Do we think we'll hear something when that contract runs out?
I think within the next year or so, we'll hear something about Yui.
So 2021, we reckon will be the time we'll hear a drop from her. Whether or not that be with Amuse or somebody else,
or wherever,
or whatever. So while you're here, guys, I want to get your thoughts as well. Like we touched on before, albums are very, very different to in style, direction. What are your guys' favorites? There's gonna be a favorite one.
Album or song or?
I'm gonna put Chief on the spot with this one.
Debut album.
The debut album, straight away. He didn't even think about that, did he? He's just like, what's the debut album?
Debut album, my favorite all time.
My favorite.
Woo! So debut as well.
Yeah, debut album's my favorite. Yeah,
Haytom?
Debut album, Metal Galaxy, and then Metal Resistance.
Oh, Metal Resistance, so down. Hey,
Metal Resistance.
Yeah, I'm the same. Goes. I'd be interested to see the chat as well. Let me know, guys. Like I said, personally, I don't know. I'm probably with Chief on that one. I think debut album. I think Resistance. And I would say Metal Galaxy last.
Same.
But it's a very, very close call for me, because when I listened to the Metal Galaxy album, there was a few songs that I absolutely loved, like BMC. Papaya is a good one for me. I think it's different. I really, really love that. And then there's a few songs on there I was kind of like, they're okay. And then I've seen it live. I've seen them do those songs live. And that's the difference. And then those songs that I didn't quite get attached to for 2 months just went up my list, and I'm thinking, wow, that is great.
There is no explanation, dude. I don't understand, dude. Seeing them live is just a whole different experience altogether. I mean, I've been to concerts before, and I've listened to the albums, but seeing Babymetal actually perform in front of you, dude, it's an experience I can't explain. It's wow.
Yeah, just
I leave concerts with huge smiles on my face, dude. And I can't stop smiling.
Yeah, but just for example, for me, Future Metal. A lot of people bash Future Metal. It's the first song on the album. People just kind of skip it to get into the songs.
It's an introduction song.
And it's an introduction song. And since I've seen that live now, I can't not skip that song. I can't do it. It gets me pumped now. I'm just like...
It's the intro for Da Da Da.
The whole point of it. It's an intro.
Sorry. It's an intro, but it hurts me so much now when I see a lot of people's lists of what their favorite songs are, and to see that so low. And I know it's an entrance song, but seeing that set entrance song live, the crowd going wild, them coming out on stage in the shadows, flags on their backs. It's just it was just so good.
Nobody opens a show and closes a show like Babymetal.
Yes,
I've experienced Babymetal from a big stadium, because I saw him at Tokyo Dome twice, both days. I've experienced.
I'm just gonna kick him from the chat now.
I've experienced him from the middle of the crowd at the Hammerstein and at the Palladium, and I've experienced them front row, right up against the barrier when they're like 2 feet away from you, dude. I mean, you can reach out and touch more, dude. And that to me is the best experience ever. Is having that, just being right in front, dude, and having the whole attention towards you.
I know it was so good. It was so good for me. Chief.
Yes.
Are you jealous, Chief?
Y'all just rubbing it in my face. Y'all keep rubbing it in. It hurts me.
What time?
Concert.
I know. I don't even have my merch. I'm just sitting here on my way to Paradise Metal Galaxy here, man.
When do you reckon you'll get around to seeing them? What time frame are we looking at for you?
Whenever Corona time ends. Whenever Corona time ends and everybody starts going back to it, I'm gonna be there. I don't care where in the world. I'm gonna go.
with a mask. So, like I said, Chief, obviously you've been reacting now for a while now for Babymetal now. You said, you said, your mate introduced you to it. You've been reacting to these videos. What's the overall experience been like for you now?
Amazing. I love it.
You love it.
I said, it's just I'm a fan of Steve Vai, and I'm a fan of musicians who are top notch. You know what I'm saying? Like Billy Sheehan, who's bassist, and so the Kami band for me it's like everything I love. You know what I'm saying? Like Bo is an insane. He's Billy Sheehan. He's he's Billy Sheehan level top notch bassist. Can just tear the bass up. I mean, everybody on the whole band. You had Mikio, you have Amora, you have Letta, you have Hideki. Everybody is just top notch. And then the vocals, not only the vocals, but the choreography, the dancing. Everyone on the whole band is top notch. You know what I'm saying? So to have vocals, they're out there dancing and maintaining wonderful vocals while dancing. Because I watch K-pop too.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes the K-pop, when they're dancing too much, and they're like, you know what I mean? And they're catching their breath. But these girls out here are still dancing and just hitting the notes. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I feel like is so good about Babymetal is everyone is top notch. It's like, when you're making a band, I always say there's someone we got to make a band to fight the aliens with. You know what I mean? And I think
just send Babymetal.
Yeah, because COVID got top-notch musicians, top-notch singers, and it's just it's like it's a super band. To me, it's like a super band. You know.
I mean,
Yeah, mine I'd like to pick. It's Cobra Metals. If there's anybody I want to sit down with and go, let me expose your brain to me. It's his. Just from the beginning, the concept shirts and jackets so they can do the Doki Doki Morning video because they didn't have their own crap, and it's where it is now. And he controls that. Genius. Absolute genius.
He's definitely made some absolutely cracking artistic decisions with the way the band is, especially the merch, man. Because let's face it, let's think about how much Baby Metal, as displayed in the back of Aldo's wall, right there, how much merch these girls must sell.
I know all the.
Dude, if I were to spin this camera around,
Do it.
Do it. I want to see it all. But
you want to see my Sakuragakuin collection?
Oh yes.
Woo! Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
my God,
oh, look at that.
You got any signs,
Dude?
My Sakuragakuin shrine.
If you have any spares, let me know. I'll take them off your hands. Wow.
Man.
Look at the merch we have.
Neon can throw something up on the green screen. He's like, "Oh yeah, just throw up a."
I was gonna throw up my Baby Metal flag on the green screen. I completely forgot to do it. I was just like, So that, like I said, 10 minutes into this, before we came live, I was like, I had my Dragon Ball Z top, and I was like, no, quickly, I have to run upstairs and chuck my Baby Metal top on.
Because you should.
Because you should, exactly. I tell you what, I've never spent so much on merch going to see a band. I mean, I've gone pretty nuts with Metallica. I've gone pretty nuts with a couple of other bands as well. But the way that I bolted to go from the front of the gig stage to the merch store would have made like Suwamoa proud. I was gone. I literally turned Super Saiyan to get to the fucking front of that queue. I tell you now. And
dude, bands nowadays have no idea how lucky they are. Back in 2014, 2015, you had to go to auction sites, Japanese auction sites, just to find a freaking T-shirt, dude.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Unless you went to a concert and bought one, you couldn't find them anywhere, dude. And now they're all over the place.
They're all over
now
the
you
place.
can find them on a Hot Topic or whatever. But back in the day, dude, and then you were paying a pretty penny for those fucking shirts too, man.
You're still paying it. You're still paying a lot for the shirts.
Still paying.
So and that's what I mean. I got to the merch store and I was talking to a lad from my Discord called Demon, and he was like, dude, get me a flag. He was joking, of course. But then when I'm stood there and I see the flag, I'm like, I have to buy a flag. So I buy a flag and I'm like, oh, I'll have a T-shirt as well. But then I see another T-shirt. I'm like, oh, I'll have that T-shirt. And I'll get myself a mug. And can I have that over there as well? And my mate's just looking at me like that. Who came to the gate, and I'm like, I'm walking out of this gig.
Show, I take enough money to buy one of everything. Goddamn.
One of everything. I just wanted to take the whole merch store home. I was like, just please let me have that. It was amazing. That was the first time I've ever walked into a gig with less money than I freaking walked in with. Because usually I don't spend anything when I'm at the gig. I do it all beforehand. Watch the band, go home, and
go home. Yeah, that's like any other concert. Yeah.
And with Baby Metal, I was just compelled. Just this merch store. I was like,
I didn't want to leave.
So was I, dude.
I didn't want to leave. I hung out with a bunch of 20-year-old groupies in 25-year-old place, actually. All dressed up like Baby Metal. Got a bunch of pictures. Hung out with them, waiting for the Merc line to go down. It was a good time.
Jordanis Janovic, I hope I'm saying that right, has come up with a good point. He goes, I kind of wish they had more Kami Band merch. Is that something you guys agree with?
Kami Band merch, yeah.
That is definitely something I would like to see a little bit more.
They're missing out on some on some cash there, dude. Yeah, they would make a killing on that too. I'd love to have a bow shirt, dude.
Yeah, man. I'd love to have one of those.
Or a Mikio shirt or a Mikio shirt.
Oh yeah. There's definitely money to be made there, I think.
You can find them. I mean, or you can make one.
I was gonna say make one myself.
But it would be nice if they were official merch.
Official merch, yeah. Like I said, with the band obviously moving in the future, and like I said, we touched on this with the girls as well. This was the first tour, I believe, that they did where there was a bit of a divide with the camis. I believe that obviously between the Eastern and the Western.
Yeah.
Do you reckon is that just because of the growing popularity of baby metal that the Eastern camis probably thought they popular enough now to do their own thing? Is that something you don't mind them doing, or would you prefer the Eastern camis come back and do full time again?
I think what happened was they played with them at the Dark Carnival thing, that whole, and they got to meet them, they got to talk with them, and I think they offered them something, some kind of deal, and for Amuse it's logistics. Instead of having to bring the kami band, the Japanese kami band, that costs money. Each person, they have to bring their guitars or equipment. It just makes more sense for them logistically to get a kami band here. And the mask just kind of tries to hide the fact that they're what they're doing, but we're not stupid,
Yeah, no.
We see tattoos, we see arms, and we know who's playing that damn guitar, we know who's the drums, goddammit. You can't hide that shit.
Yeah, no, that was pretty funny when the tour started.
That's true, but there's also the fact that these guys are accomplished musicians before baby metal, and the studio musicians, and they do their own things. The other aspect of having them, like when they're in the United States, they've played with guys from here often, is because it exposes these people to baby metal as well, and helps spread that further outside of Asia or Japan and whatnot. But these guys, the kami band guys, these are world-class, top-notch musicians, and they're in demand from a lot of people other than Amuse and baby metal. Plus, they do their own things.
Yeah, right, exactly. They have their own bands. The kami band has their own projects. That they do.
Yeah.
So, I think this would just free them up to be able to keep on pursuing their personal projects,
artistic vision.
Touching back on the baby metal, like we said, that we would say they'd have 3 years, and then we think maybe 30-year-old suing Moa and stuff like that is probably pushing it. Could another way of them doing this is, could they take out a leaf out of Slipknot's book?
A what?
Slipknot's book. And the way that Slipknot works is they all get together, they do a tour, they drop an album, and then they all fuck off to do their own things for about 2 years, 3 years. Corey Taylor does his Stone Sour stuff. The other guys do their DJing. Other guys have their own other bands that they do.
It would be much harder to do that with these girls because there's so much dance and show and performance involved in baby metal. I don't mean just, not knocking Slipknot or anybody else, but standing up there and jamming away on their music instruments and killing it. Yeah. But that's it.
But hypothetically, could that be a way forward? Could we see baby metal drop an album, take a 2-3 year break, and then come back for another album, do a tour, make an absolute shit ton of money doing one tour around the world, dropping an album, and then splitting up again for 2-3 years, and then keep coming back?
It's possible, but they better start doing that now then.
Maybe that's why they got the 3 Avengers and the new kami band.
Would fans tolerate that? I mean, Slipknot have been doing that for fucking 20 years now.
Yeah, no, see, because it's a different formula. Baby metal's a whole different formula. It wouldn't work.
You don't think it would work? What would the chat think? Would that work? Is that something you guys would like? Could tolerate?
I could see it working. I mean, I don't know. This is the conspiracy again. But, they got a new comedy band. They got 3 new girls. I just was thinking if everybody like I feel like the old Kami band Sue and Mo, they've been doing this a while, and if everyone is thinking like I want to go on a different artistic vision, as an artist, we've been doing this for almost 10 years now, guys. Can we do something else? And then that's maybe why they got a new Kami band, maybe why they got 3 new girls, and then they're taking those girls and the new Kami band on the circuit, seasoning them up, saying this is what baby metal is. This is how we do it. This is how we dance. This is how we get out there. This is how we perform in front of crowds. And I don't know, conspiracy time.
Conspiracy. I mean, that's exactly what it comes down to at the minute, at the end of the day, because none of us have an absolute fucking clue. We're all guessing. It's all conspiracy theories. It's all what ifs, buts, could do's. Nobody knows. The only person that knows is probably Cobra. He's probably watching this right now going, "You're not even fucking close, lads. Nowhere near." So, and if we do get close in any realm of possibility, my stream will be shut down like that. So, Cobra. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, Cobra will be. Wait a minute. Shut that guy's stream down now.
I'll be honest with you. I'm looking forward, not now, okay, don't get me wrong, but I'm looking forward to Baby Metal ends, okay, down the road.
Yeah.
When they've run their, I don't want them to go too long and damage what they've done. Because many, many groups in many places do that. What I do want to see is when they're done, we're finally going to be able to maybe talk to these guys, not personally, but learn something about them and hear about the and all that stuff that'll come out later, and I'm looking forward to that. I don't want them to end right now, but that day's coming, and I look forward to the aspect of finding out more about the real deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, I want them. I hope that they have been recording behind the scenes footage this whole time, and then for them to release something like that, like for the 10-year anniversary, dude, it would be freaking awesome.
There's no way in hell there's nothing dropping for this 10-year anniversary. There is no way. Like, we all know, even though we don't know anything, we all know something. We know something's coming. There is no. We all fucking know that Cobra is way too fucking smart to let an opportunity like that just.
He's got several movies recorded. Yeah. He's got movies and movies of film.
Cobra's already got this plan for the fucking 30th anniversary, let alone the fucking 10th. Right? This guy absolutely knows how to sell tickets, how to move merch, how to make these girls fucking fantastic. I do not believe for a fucking second that there's going to be nothing for this 10-year anniversary. There will be something. Whether it only be something small, like maybe they do another 2-night Tokyo Dome, or they announce like a massive gig somewhere. A
3-day concert.
A 3-day concert.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Each album being played just like they did Tokyo Dome. You know what I'm saying? But 3 days worth this time.
But 3 days worth. Oh. Jesus, that would be.
Yui's making an appearance. I guarantee it.
I was thinking that.
Yeah. I mean.
I don't think she'll see her dance, but I think she'll make an appearance.
Yeah. So.
Give me 5 seconds, guys. Hold up.
Not a problem, man. It's not a problem. But that's also the thing as well, isn't it? So I mean, it's if Yui does make an appearance, whether or not be as a goodbye for this 10th anniversary, that would be a nice send off, I think. Even just having her there is that sells. That's gonna sell tickets. That's gonna get people hyped, anticipating.
I'm fucking there.
Yeah, like literally, if no matter where they drop this show, if they drop the show in Japan, then Japan's landmass will increase by freaking 200% because everybody will be fucking trying to get to Japan to watch this goddamn show.
They better wait till this Corona stuff's over. Nobody's going anywhere.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. I think that's probably the reason why we've not heard anything to date as well. I mean, Baby Metal's usually quiet as well, but they're not stupid when it comes to marketing stuff. And I definitely think there's a lot of things with this the COVID-19 stuff that is.
This shit pisses me off too. I was supposed to go see Burst Girl in fucking September, man.
Yeah. I was gonna see Yinging Is. I was gonna see The Warning. Oh my goodness!
There's a lot of fucking good shit coming up.
I know. I was like, dude. I'm gonna see Joe Rogan in September too.
Oh, damn! So everyone is like, "Yeah, we're going to go and see this," and I live on a shitty island in the middle of the fucking ocean. So nobody comes here. once every fucking blue moon to the UK. Oh, it's awful.
I need them to keep going for 3 more years.
Yeah.
This, Lord, I'm moving to Japan in a year and a half, just under 2 years.
Oh, are you?
Hey, oh,
I'm
nice.
retired and headed to, and
Nice.
got things I want to do there, and
Hell yeah.
I need them to still be going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
Speaking of that, you know, I was gonna say, you know, like when we talk about that, if they are still going, the direction I know a lot of people are probably like, why? But like, if you know, Babymetal's still going, their new sound, I would almost want to be very, like, a lot more pop.
like, really? That's
Yeah.
something I would never have guessed you were gonna say.
Okay, so the perfect example would be, so a while back when I was in high school, Nicki Minaj came out with a song that had a sample from Joe Satriani, who's an insane guitarist. He taught Steve Vai, he taught Kirk Hammett. He's an insane guitarist, but it had that sampled in it. So it was when she was rapping over it or whatever, and then it was like a pop ballad. So like she sung in it, and I would almost want to see Sue like sing like that with, you know, you can still have the insane guitar because, like, you know, she used his "Always With Me, Always With You" song, and it's like a really fast paced. It's a slow, but it's fast paced, slow song. Yeah. And it was very pop, and it kind of topped the charts and stuff. And I would like to see Babymetal kind of do that, implement very heavy stuff, but very pop. I don't know.
Yeah.
like the first album.
Yeah,
Like the first
album. Exactly.
That's why
I love it too.
That's what I fell in love with was that aspect.
Exactly.
Not that I don't like Metal Resistance or anything. It's not that I don't like them, but what attracted me to Babymetal was that pop.
Yeah.
Exactly.
With the metal, dude. That's what I like.
Yeah. This is always going to be the thing with Babymetal now. Is they've done so many different genres. They've got so many fans that like different things. For me personally, I think I don't, like I said, like Haytom said, I think the cuteness era now has been and gone. And I would like Sue, as Sue gets older, more mature, sexier. As she's growing older, I'd love her to do a kind of like a Lucky Morpheus direction. I would love the next step of that metal evolution. I'd like it to go dark, gritty. I'd like to see Sue really, because we've seen Sue do so many things. We've seen her go pop. We've seen her do rap. Yeah. We've seen her do Indian shanty. We've seen her do her voice of her kind of singing over heavy metal riffs. But I personally, I would love to see Sue really change her vocals up for an album. Really go full metal. I would like to see that. I think it would be different, and I don't think they will go in that direction because, like I said, there's too many fans that like the cuteness and the pop. But I think as she's
more growl,
more growl, exactly. I would love to see Sue.
I want to see that from her.
Yeah. I would love to see Sue Metal as Sue Metal. As that persona, all out in 100% intensity, and I reckon that could be special.
And that's my favorite girl out of the band right now. I mean, that's the answer to the question from the beginning of the podcast.
So, but also going on to that as well, I'd love to see Moa be more involved as well. My thing with Metal Galaxy, and the one thing I was really looking forward to, which I can honestly say is the one thing that really let me down, and the one thing I was quite actually upset with, is I knew that Yui wasn't going to be in this album. And I was really, really looking forward to a Moa song. It didn't have to be lots, 1 or 2 songs, Moa taking the lead, doing something different, and we never got that. And that is the one thing I can honestly say about Metal Galaxy I was very, very upset with. I enjoyed the album, but I came away with a little bit of a sour taste thinking.
Can sing.
Yeah, we know she can. We know she can.
And, you know, for them not to give her at least a freaking song for her, I mean, I don't know. I was kind of.
I'm going to say something popular here, and believe me, I love Mo as much as anybody. But there's probably a reason for that. Because trust me, if he can capitalize off Moa singing and it helping Babymetal and in the future, he would. And I not that she can sing, but she is definitely a backup singer that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
She's got a nice voice. It's not powerful that we've seen.
Moa Bacon.
You know, and it's sweet.
I've got to disagree with you on that one. I've seen Moa Banga, and I've seen the way she took control of that mic, and I think she's got all the charisma and all the vocal styles that she needs.
I'd love to see it. Don't get me wrong. I just think there's probably a reason why.
I think it's I don't think it's anything to do with Moa's skills behind the mic. I think she's completely confident to do no matter what she can do. I think she's got the vocal range for it. We've seen it with in Sakura Gaikuin as well, when all the girls had their own time in the limelight. It wasn't Sue focused back then, and she was no different to any of the other girls that are all gone on to be singers. Pretty much all of them, apart from the rare one or two that have gone on to do acting or modeling.
I'd like to see it. Don't get me wrong, because I don't think really no. I've only got secrets.
Yeah, I honestly think that that Moa not being able to sing is more of a dynamic thing. I think we've all established that Sue is the lead, and I think probably having Moa take on the vocals would probably maybe diminish Sue's role a little bit there, and I think that's the reason why. Or
it could diminish Moa.
Black Babymetal. I mean, if they did Black Babymetal, why not? I mean,
well, like I said, Black Babymetal was a thing, and for all of us that love Black Babymetal, that's gone. That was one of my favorites as well. Seeing the Black Babymetal stuff.
Yeah.
It is mine too. I just I don't know. It's a tough competing against Sue when you're still part of Babymetal is a very tough thing to do. That could help you. That could hurt you. And she may be protecting herself. I mean,
cause friction in the band, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, isn't it?
On that, I don't know. I just think that right now, Sue's going to win, and that's not going to help Moa in any. You know what I mean? Yeah. And people will get on there and comment and say things and everything else. Oh yeah, she's great, but she's no Sue. That's what you're going to hear, and that's not good for anybody.
Well, like I said, I've just seen from the chat as well, one of the comments has said, she goes, I vaguely recall reading an interview where Moa's already stated that she's come out and she said she's not interested in performing solo. So it might just be a Moa thing. She might just not want to do it.
Yeah. They might have asked her and she's just like, no, that's okay. I'm fine.
You know, so yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
So there's, like I said, there's always that way.
It's the same thing with Riho and Momoko. That's what they really want to pursue is dancing.
Yeah.
You know, that's their profession. Yeah. Singing like a byproduct of it.
I think with Rio and Momoko and Kano, I think being the Avengers with Babymetal as established as they are, I think is a privilege, because no matter who you are, there's a million girls out there that would kill to do what they do, even just to be on the same stage as Moa and Sue. So I think they're perfectly happy doing what they're doing.
Can you imagine how Kano feels? He's the youngest one of them. Out of nowhere, dude. Out of Sakura Gaikuin, you want to be in Babymetal?
Do you want to be in Babymetal? Yeah. I think you'd eat that up. Those girls will be living the life. The Avengers will be absolutely loving it.
Say no. I mean, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Who would say no to that? You know, I'd stick on a dress and a wig and freaking do it if I could. You know.
Yeah.
It's one of those. You'd be crazy not to. Absolutely crazy not to.
I actually made a video doing that, Neon, but I will never show it.
That actually leads me back to one of my other videos. I actually did a bet with Bandmade, and I turned around and said, if I get 1,000 likes on this video, back in the days where like 1,000 likes was a pipe dream for one of my videos. And I said, look, if I get 1,000 likes for this, I will dress up in a maid outfit for doing it. And the video, I must have dropped that video, and it must have been like 2 or 3 months old. And then suddenly I got loads of comments on it. You know, when it pops up on a YouTube feed, and I'm like, why is everybody commenting on this really old video? It's like 3 months old. And then I clicked on it. I was like, oh, that's why. And I was like, oh, god damn it. So yeah, I believe it or not, I ordered a dress off Amazon. Extra large it was, an extra freaking large, and I could not fit into it.
I seen that. That's great.
I was like, oh my god! It was like an extra. I was like, yeah. So I challenged the internet there, and the internet won. But it's like, never again. I've not done it again. I don't want to. So
Get up to Andy next time.
so yeah. So with the band now, with the girls and stuff like that. It was not my finest moment. But yeah, with the band now, with the girls, everything that they're doing, and just as a collective as well as the band, you can see how much they've grown, how much they've developed and stuff like that. If you had to pick a song from obviously Legend Metal Galaxy now that's just dropped, that is as good or just as good as some of their most iconic ones like Road to Resistance, Give Me Chocolate, Headbanger. These are all songs now that are you associate with Baby Metal when you think of the good stuff. If you could pick like a song off the track for Legend Metal, which one would you say really sticks out for you guys?
Damn.
I know.
That's tough. If you want a traditional Baby Metal sounding song, I would say Arcadia.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Arcadia too.
Because it sounds like, Amore or Road to Resistance. It's got that fast, speed metal. But as far as like most artistic, like most out there, BMC is like the most.
I was gonna say BMC. I was blown away by BMC. Ironically, because it wasn't. It was one of those songs where I first listened to it and I liked it, I loved it, but it wasn't anywhere near as good as the old stuff. And then I seen it live, and I go back to it now, and even the little electronic parts that everybody was complaining about, when it goes wanna see it, and it's got that electronic tone to Zoo's voice. I wasn't keen on that now, and after 50 times listening to it, I go back to it and I fucking love it. I fucking love listening to the electronic changes in the voice of those bits, and I didn't care for it when I first started. I loved the song, absolutely loved the song, but I was like, why are you messing with the Queen's voice like that? And then now, months on, and I'm just like, you know what, I really dig that. I really dig that.
Baby Metal is about creativity and doing new things. And I had the same reaction, like it was electronic. And I was like, absolutely fell for it because they make it work. And they blend it with heavy metal and cute and everything else. And it just works. And that's what they're about.
Yeah. So what about you, Chief? What does the future of Chief Sweet have in store for Baby Metal? Like, have you got any plans of where you take it to go? Maybe the channel as well?
What is it?
So I said, do you have any plans for like the future for your channel for the Baby Metal content stuff? Yeah.
Yeah. I want to do like really deep, kind of like how it's not conspiracy, but like more of just like me talking about the music of like.
You should do more horror films, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was watching those today, dude.
Thank you. But yeah, I was wondering that.
So
thank you.
Yeah, so like I said, that's absolutely fucking amazing. So I don't know how long we've been streaming for. It feels like we've been on for we're just over an hour. So what I'll do is, guys, I'll direct us to the chat. You guys in the comment section, if you want to ask either myself, Haytom, Aldo, Chief, any questions, now's your time to do it, guys. We'll pick out a couple. And you can ask the guys whatever the frick you want. Whatever you want. And those guys...
I've got a question for you guys when you got a second.
Yeah, not a problem, man.
Ask away.
My question is this. I know what mine is. What is your biggest fear concerning Baby Metal here in a year, 2 or 3, or even right now? I have a fear about them, and I'll tell you what it is. But I'm curious as to if you guys have any concerns.
Like,
you understand what I mean? Here's mine. I'm worried about them. When you're in something too long, I firmly going out on top. As opposed to having to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Going out on top, and I worry about typecast in terms of you can take it right back to acting and other things. When you've done something too long, anything else, because they're seen as one thing.
Yeah.
And for these girls that are so talented, in this case, I'm
because this is a persona. It's not who they really are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Persona.
Correct. And I want them to be able to, while they're still young and got all their skills, I want them to be able to escape that and, like Aldo said, do what they want to do and be, who they want to be. Yeah. This is who they wanted to be 10 years ago and 5 years ago. And
it's not going to be a popular opinion. Everybody's going to say, no, we want Babymetal to continue. And
I was just going to say that.
But, the fact is, I'm a realist. And this can't go on forever.
Yeah.
But here's the flip side to that. Can it? Obviously, nothing lasts forever, but can it go on and on and on and on? We look at some of the most successful bands throughout history, some of the most well-known, well-loved, almost legendary status bands in metal, and you're talking about Metallica, you're talking about Megadeth, right? Maiden, Slayer. You've got all these bands. These guys have been doing it for 40, 50 odd years.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin did reunion tours. Black Sabbath did reunion tours.
Yeah.
But
they were still doing it. They were still there for 20 to 25 years as a band collectively doing it. Could Babymetal do that? If Babymetal was to end today, if they were to end today, do you think then they've achieved that legendary status yet? Or do you reckon it will always be not quite the fulfillment of their potential as a band?
I think, to your point about them 3 years and dropping one and 3 or 4 years after, if they wanted to do that, they're on top now. Because it does not last forever, and people's interest wanes, etc. And eventually, I think he's going to run out of ideas. I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah.
But to do that, they would have to stop soon. Otherwise, they're just going to blend into it, and it's not going to have a big impact. So when I say going on top, I don't mean, but that's where my kind of 3-year thing is. When they're 25 and 26 and whatever, that's a good time to go without beating the thing to death. So nobody wants to hear it anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly my thing too. With like the fear, I fear that that's kind of like when you said the fear of Babymetal. I fear that they're tired of it. That would be my fear. It's like they're tired of it. They just want out. Maybe that's why you left. No one knows. But like it's like thing with
you gotta get burned out. People get burned out.
Yeah, burned out. I don't want them to be burned out. Or if anything, maybe the good things
they've been doing this since they were kids.
Yes. Yeah. And that's you mature so much from that. They didn't have a
regular childhood either, so
I think a good example as well. Go back to Haytom's point is a band that's gone on for me for forever. Literally, kind of went out of existence for about 15 years, but now are back in the limelight like they never left. Is Korn. So Korn have gone. Throughout the 90s, one of the biggest bands ever, kind of lost substance for a long time, and then I've come back with the latest album, and it's like they were never gone. Is that something Babymetal could do if they ever lost traction?
Depends.
I
don't know.
It's different because Babymetal is so different from these types of groups. The fan base for bands like Korn and has been in place forever. The fan base for Babymetal has been in place for 2 or 3 years. A big fan base. In Asia, Japan, they were big for a couple, 3 years and were growing, and then it expanded out. They don't have that base of support that some of these metal bands have had for 20 and 30 years. Could they get it? Yeah, but they're still not as big over here as they should be.
I feel like they're growing though.
Yeah.
I feel like like you just touched on it, I feel like over the last 2-3 years that momentum is finally starting to go. I mean, we're talking about like you said, them obviously getting to that age 2 and 3 years where we think maybe enough's enough. That cuteness age has started. But I do get the feeling that, especially in America, especially in Europe, that momentum for Babymetal has only just started. I feel like it's taken 5 or 7
Well,
years for them to really get going.
reactors are an indication of that. I literally just 2 days ago watched a guy who'd never heard of the last couple of weeks, as I've been watching more and more reactors who have never heard of baby metal. First time hearing them, and I'm like, if you're on YouTube, how the hell have you not heard of baby metal? Okay. So you're either lying and full of shit, or you're blind. But that's the case. Is there's still people on there doing reactions, and I always type in, dude, you're like 5-6 years behind. Where have you been?
That was for me. Yeah, that's all like, whoa.
Dude,
You must
I ran
be
across
tuning
them
in.
6 years. I mean, 6 years ago. Yeah, 6 years
I
ago.
question somebody's music credibility when they go, I've just heard of baby metal, and they've been on YouTube for 10 years. I'm like, really? Okay, what have you been
It's that
doing?
algorithm, man. I'm telling you, the
We're
algorithm.
gonna do a few questions from the chat now as well. So the first one I want to pick out is Yusef, who asks, guys, what do you think Metal Galaxy missed?
Oh, okay.
That's
I
fun.
don't think anything.
Do you
It
think,
is what it was. I like it.
I don't know. Papaya was fun, but
Loved it. That's my favorite.
I'm thinking like Java or Awadama Fever type song. We didn't get
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
No, I'm saying?
Alabama Fever is an underrated song. I really like that song.
Yeah,
It's
very
really,
underrated. Java's my favorite. Of all baby metal songs, Java's my favorite. But that's what was missing in this album was something like that or something cutesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing cutesy anymore. I miss that.
yeah. Well, but what about you, Chief? Is there anything in Metal Galaxy you think missed?
I don't know if I've heard everything on Metal Galaxy yet. I mean, I liked it just because experimental. Like I like Shanti,
Yeah.
and I was the BMC is good. I liked a lot of the stuff on there, but it is my third favorite album. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was really experimental, so that's kind of like I don't know. It was way too experimental to say that it was missing anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, for me personally, I think like I said, we go back to the UEMO Black Baby Metal, and I just think that's for me. That's what this album was missing. Was just missing that little bit of oomph. Because I agree with Aldo as well. There was definitely a cutesy song gap there as well. And I think they went experimental. They went electronic. They did a lot of that. They did shanty. They definitely dipped their toes in a lot of pies. But I don't think they kind of kept the core of the last two albums in there because they had their too many fingers, like I said, in freaking jars of jam. And I think that the album for me, Metal Galaxy, compared to the other two, it's missing a spine. It's missing what makes that album. Because when you think of the first album, you know what to expect. You know it's cute. You know it's great the whole way through. You think of Metal Resistance, you know it's metal. You know it's fast. You got the Black Baby Metal stuff there. You know what they were going for. The shredding of the guitars. And when I think of Metal Galaxy, I just think, all right, we've got this. We've got the electronic songs that they dipped in. And then I think of Papaya, Shanty, which couldn't be more different, Starlight, and to me, like I said, that's what it lacks. That album is just a spine, core
like that,
of what it was.
Like that progressive metal 80s, like the late 80s, or like that shred era. That's what it kind of misses for you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I missed the guitar solo.
I missed the guitar solos. Yeah, I miss the riffs.
There's no guitar solos in this album, dude.
That's good.
I love all the songs. But there's 2 or 3 songs in the album which I could have lived without just to have one great baby metal song. Like one of the first 2. I could have lived without Shanty, to be quite honest with you. As much as I like it, and it grows on me.
I love it.
I love it. It's one of my favorites.
I wouldn't be sad. I wouldn't be sad to see that go for
like me personally. I could do away with Arcadia.
Exactly. Everybody's got their own personal things, their own personal tastes, and that's what's so great. That's what's so great about Baby Metal. That's what's so great.
But I like Shine.
I like Shine. I like Shine. I like Shine.
And I like Brand New Day. I like the guitars on Brand New Day, dude. That fucking Polyphia I like Polyphia, dude. They're pretty
That's what I
fucking
was
good.
gonna say. Yeah. This new album is
So
very
we're
new
there.
metal, or like new progressive metal. You know, it's like
Mhm.
when I heard it, I was like, oh, this is how guitarists are playing now. But see, the older albums to me, my I'm a big fan of the older guys like Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, the '80s,
Right,
late '80s, early
right.
'90s, the shredders, the shred era of guitar. I'm a big fan of that, and that's how
Yeah.
the first two albums are. They're very much that first style of progressive metal that was coming into the scene.
There's guitar
And
solo.
this, yeah,
Well,
and this new album
guitar
was
solo.
so much the what is now progressive metal, or what is now what people consider shred era. You know,
I
like Polyphia, those
yeah.
guys are nowadays progressive metal.
I definitely think with the third album, well, the first album was definitely the Baby. I think the second album was definitely the Metal, and I feel
Uh-oh.
like the third one is lacking in both those areas a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that what we got wasn't great. I loved it, and I loved the fact that they experimented. I loved the fact that they had different songs. But yeah, like I said, we've already established that the first two albums, those albums are great.
Yeah.
It's like, there's, you know,
So
there's
we've all introduced baby metal, or I assume, anyways. When you do, what song do you play for 'em?
oh,
Nah.
for me it would be
Depends
like I
who
said,
it is.
it would be, yeah, it depends who it is. If you're looking for like a metalhead or something like that, it would be Road to Resistance or something like that. Something with a nice metal thing. If it's somebody pop
Everybody I do it to, it's Headbanger.
headbanger, if it's somebody that I know doesn't enjoy metal and is a little bit poppy, then I'd probably go more like Give Me Chocolate or Karate or something like that. Something like that. It's got that cuteness on there. Or even Ine. Ine's a fun one just to show them a little bit.
love
What the hell? I know. No, just to get that reaction. And, you know, so yeah, it's different for different people. I got a question here as well from Loon. He goes, if you were Cobra, who would you choose for the Kami band? And this one is for Chief and Aldo. Oh, and Tom. I didn't see the last bit. But yeah, if you could choose, if you were Cobra, who would you choose for the Kami band?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I feel like Koba did such a good job because I never heard of these musicians before, like Amora, Letta, Mikio, and I feel like I feel like Koba is a fan of that progressive metal, that early shred era, because he picked people who, to me, was like,
Emulate.
you know, there's the East. Yes, it was the East. If it was the East, it would be Steve Vai, Billy Sheehan, and like Joe Satriani, or even Yngwie. And he chose basically, or like, the West.
Don
the
Dokken,
West.
dude.
Yeah,
Omura's
he chose
Don
people.
Dokken, dude. I mean, that's his hero. So, and I
Yeah,
hear
so-
his play style. I hear it a lot.
I feel like Koba chose exactly Japan artists who are like pretty much those dudes from Japan who can tear it up. And I'm like, thank you, because you shed light on some people who are I'm now a fan of. You know?
Well, that's it for me. I'm going to have a really, really boring answer here, and I'm just going to say that I think Cobra got it absolutely bang on, spot on, perfection the first time with the Eastern Camis, and I wouldn't change any of them for the world. I adore.
Yeah.
I think every single one of them was just.
I'm going to do the cop-out answer as well.
Yeah,
Those originals.
Those originals, I wouldn't change them for the world. If it comes to the Eastern versus Western camis, unfortunately, I am Eastern every day of the week. I think Amora, Mikaro, those guys are just they're something else. It was nice, like you said. Then I didn't know anything about these guys. They came out of complete obscurity for me, and they just punch you in the fucking balls. And they're just like, here we are, and I don't think there could be any more than those guys.
Going back to that earlier question of what I would show someone, I always show them Give Me Chocolate because that was my first one. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how they react to the first thing that I saw.
Yeah.
You know? I remember how I reacted. I was like, what the fuck? But this is cool.
Right.
And I want to see that, in other people. I want to see if they see the same thing I see.
Here's a great question. Joe Slag, epic name by the way, goes, which Avenger do you think would like to sing with Moa for maybe a Black Baby Metal version 2 out of Rio, Kano, or Momo?
Kano. Because Moa is her hero. Moa is her hero.
But do you think Kano would be the best fit for a Black Baby Metal?
She's the youngest though, but I personally think she would because I mean, her and Moa. I mean, she's like Moa's like the way Moa looks at Sue is the way Kano looks at Moa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
So
it's a progression.
Yeah, I'm gonna completely agree with you on that one. I would have said Kano as well. Just for that, like I said, that association, and because she's the youngest as well, I think that would be. I think it would bring that cutesy bit back. I say youngest, but she's not that young now, but it's still, it would still bring something new to the table. I definitely think.
Yeah.
That. What about you, Tom?
No, I agree completely. Out of the three,
Yeah.
but I think Aldo said it, the way he looks at Moa and the way Moa looks at Sue, it's very similar. So I think that's what she'd want for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wish I could meet a woman that looks at me the way that Moa looks at Sue. To be honest. So, so, but yeah, that'd be interesting. I would definitely love to see Black Babymetal make a return in some kind of way. Just trying to look for some more
What's
questions.
with the shades, by the way?
What can I say? I'm glad I was the only one. I thought someone was gonna ask, like, what's with the shades? And I'm the only one. Thank goodness, Tom, you're the man. Together in this.
I didn't want you to be long.
So
yeah, I think he was mentally. He knew.
Here's one for you. They say that Rio was a hip hop dancer, so BMC was for her.
Ooh, interesting.
So
yeah, well, Rio studied dance in New York.
Yeah, that's something
That's
I want to
why
bring up.
she left Morning Musume, because she wanted to pursue a career in dancing.
Yeah,
and she went to New York for that.
This is something. Obviously, that question brings up a lot of things, because I want to touch back on to what we said about the Avengers slowly creeping their way into the lineup for Babymetal. And we've been looking at this third album thinking, what would we do for Babymetal and stuff like that. And the one thing we haven't thought about is what's just been said then, is are we thinking about this third album has been made for the Avengers in mind?
Could be. The conspiracy turns.
The conspiracy comes back now. If we look at this as the Avengers has had maybe a little bit of touch of influence on this album, do you think that's a possibility? Is this another Cobra? I feel like I need some X-Files music or something now. Do you think Cobra's already? Do you think Cobra's already 2 steps ahead of us?
Koba's a freaking genius, dude. I mean, he's a freaking genius. You know, the whole thing, like all the concerts leading up to Tokyo Dome, if you notice, where they were held, they form a pyramid, you know. And I mean, they show that off in their video. The first one's at Makuhari Mesa. It starts with an M for Moa. The next one's at Yokohama. It starts with the Y for Yui. The next one, it's at Saitama Super Arena. It starts with an S for Sue.
Holy shit, I did not know that. That was fucking wild. You just blew my mind.
Right in the center.
Oh, shit.
And it forms a pyramid.
Illuminati, baby. Illuminati.
Right in the center of that pyramid.
Oh, this man just blew my fucking mind.
Is Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, so Autome says Cobra's at least 3 steps ahead of our theories. So he's at least 3 steps ahead.
The triangle was there, but I did not think of the U, the beginning of the concert. The M, the Y, the S. Oh shit, this man blew my mind here, dude.
Here's a good question.
Genius, he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. Here's a good question. If Babymetal could perform in a big stage besides Japan, so they couldn't, if they were to do a big massive event, couldn't be in Japan, where would that venue be?
Don't know.
It would probably be in London, but
they've done Wembley. That's pretty damn big.
That's what I was. That's where I would have said they would go. I reckon if there was any place that Babymetal was going to go,
they love London, but they've already done Wembley. So my next thing would be Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
Madison Square Garden. Could they do like the old school Death Valley gigs. You just drive into a desert, plonk a stage in the and then
Woodstock.
Yeah, and just have 250,000 baby metals in front of one fucking stage. That's what I think they should do. That's what I think they should do. Like a free, yeah. Obviously, it won't be free. I mean, this is Kobo we're talking about. God damn it, man.
Yeah. Make it up with merchandise sales.
Make it up with merchandise sales. But if they were gonna do, if it wasn't in Japan and that's the way they were gonna, that's the way I would do it. I would just stick a stage in the middle of fucking nowhere. 250,000 people. What a hell of a music video that would be, by the way. Like, could you imagine that? They're just the endless sea of people.
I would do a free concert so that way probably 1 million.
Probably 1 million. Yeah, could you imagine that? You can imagine this.
Yeah. Central Park, they used to do free concerts there, and I remember Simon and Garfunkel and some other bands, and they draw, I mean, just thousands upon thousands. Yeah. That'd be the place to do it.
Yeah. So that's the way I would do it. That's the way I would do it. Koba's like this at home actually now though.
I know he's like.
If he's watching this,
no, he's probably thinking I'm already 3 steps ahead of you. That doesn't happen for another 2 years, guys. So that's what I'd have done. A lot of people are saying, they've already done Wembley, so maybe that's not the place to go. So that's what I would go. We've got one person here that says that they wouldn't want they would want us to leave the Black Baby Metal in the past. The Momo are legend, and they said they just cannot be replaced.
Yeah, I can see that.
I kind of agree with that. That was a special.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'm trying to see. Sorry. You know, I need to increase the size of my chat. I mean, not to be funny, but the writing on my chat's like fucking tiny.
I'm also reading the chat. I was gonna say, okay, since people was like they've already done Wembley, what about like Dallas Cowboys Arena? You know, because they do like concerts there and stuff. That's where WrestleMania was a while back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What is that, like 80,000 too? Or I can't remember. 100? It's 100,000. I think. Yeah.
I would even say something stupid like Spain. Just for example, you've got the Barcelona football team playing the new camp. That's 100,000 seat stadium. As well, there's places like that. I'm sure there's stadiums in America that are like 150,000 seat or 120,000 or something like that.
There's football stadiums, USC and Rose Garden, all these places, 100,000 every weekend.
So if they wanted to go for pure,
but you know,
if they wanted to go for pure capacity, then you probably look at America. I reckon for that. I reckon they could easily fill a stadium up. No problem. Here's one. Force of Metal. Tokyo Olympics 2021. Everybody's been on about this for forever. Do we think it's going to happen? Is there any momentum behind this rumor? Are we all just hoping so far too much, or do you reckon this is going to happen? I can't think of any other better band to open the Olympics than a Baby Metal.
That'd be insane.
Dancing. It would be insane.
They had Jimmy Page open for China. You remember that? I don't know if we got anybody. Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin. He opened for China Olympics, the China Olympics or whatever.
Oh no!
Like in 2000.
I didn't know that.
2000, back in the day.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's possible.
It's not other realms of possibility. You wouldn't even have to do the most hardcore Baby Metal song. It could be something quite tame, or they could do a cover.
That's the question. What would they open with?
Oh, Jesus Christ! The one. Yeah.
Open with
they could do the
IDC.
One. So, headbanger.
Open with Baby Metal Death. Oh my God, it's perfect.
Yeah, I might imagine that the Olympics started off with the Olympics.
Open with Road of Resistance, but they would finish it with the one.
With the one.
Open.
I'd like to know the
ceremonies with.
I'd like to know the chat as well. Let me know, guys, in the comments.
But in the Olympic ceremonies with the one.
Yeah. If you could open the 2021 Olympics with Baby Metal, in the comments, I'd like to see now. What song would you have them start open with?
Open with Baby Metal Death.
Oh, but yeah, I'd love that.
With the crosses, with the fire, the whole shebang, you know, and then transition to Road of Resistance.
Yes.
Have an actual crowd out there too, so we get the moshes going. Let the whole world know what's up. That'd be dope.
Yes, when they do that, they need to show the face of the other country athletes.
Like, what
That'd be
the-
amazing. The ultimate reaction.
The ultimate reaction. Yeah.
That's what I'm down for.
15-minute version of the one. The one would cover the whole
A
Olympics.
15-minute version of the one.
Yeah.
The 20-minute version. With
I
Tails of
practically was already.
We got karate would be made for the Olympics because karate is now a new sport at the Olympics. So
That's what I started out with. Yeah.
Luna's gone with "Give Me Chocolate." Could we do that? "Give Me Chocolate" would be a pretty good one, I suppose.
Yeah, that'd be good. I was going for shock value, and I was like, Baby Metal Death would be amazing.
Yeah. Jan is gone for Des. So metal less. I don't think that one would go down too well.
I feel like none of our suggestions would actually be chosen.
Maybe they write a new song for the Olympics specifically, you know, like an Olympic theme, or like debut song.
Loon's gone for there needs to be the one, but it needs to be a 50-minute version. So I think even he's pushing it there.
He's the one that's already 50 minutes.
But the one seems to be the popular go-to song to open the Olympics with.
Ooh, Metataro. Oh my goodness, that's actually a very.
Metataro would also be an awesome one. Actually,
Dude,
that is
that
a
would be a
very
good one.
That's a very, very good shout. I like Metataro.
That is.
It reminds me of like an anthem. And anyway, Metataro. So I would definitely go for that.
Even make it soon. That would be good too.
Ooh yeah, with the intro too. You know how it's like kids.
Intro, yeah, the whole. They could tweak
that'd be dope.
that really. That would kill.
That would kill. That would be insane.
So
Because people would be like,
Show people.
yeah. Because people would be like, what is going on? What is that noise? And then, you know, just bam, 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 bam. You know, you're like, oh, what is this? That'd be dope.
So yeah, no, Metataro would be an absolute amazing.
Yeah,
entrance
Metataro
as
would be
well.
good too. Because that is kind of like a, you know, it makes you want to salute, you know?
Yeah, no, it definitely gets you pumped, ready for war.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? I like that. Yava would be very energizing, but not for an opener. So Doki Doki to troll them. Doki Doki
I wouldn't troll nobody. I'd be dancing. I'd be getting down.
I know. I'd be like that. I know what's coming.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I'd be getting it. I don't even care.
Distortion, Ine. I mean, there's so many you could do, really.
Yeah.
So,
This angle would not be a good one, no.
yeah. But yes, there's so many guys. Guys, if you've got any more questions as well, now's the time to do it. We'll do a few more, and then I think we'll start to wind down. I love some of these suggestions. They're absolutely brilliant.
I know some of these suggestions. IDZ. That's yes. Purcell knows what's up. IDZ, man. Start with IDZ.
That would be a hell of a few openers here.
You want to see my merch?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Aldo over here. I think Aldo's the devil. I think he goes and gets people's souls, and that's how he has all this merch and everything. He's been everywhere. I think he's the devil.
my
guy.
newest one.
Here we go. Jen says, if and when Sue leaves Baby Metal, how long do you think she would continue in the music
How do you
business?
get those?
Could she be a pop or
Been
singer?
in Japan.
Lucky. Okay, if Sue
If Sue was to leave Baby Metal, if or when Sue was to leave Baby Metal, how long do you think that she would continue to be in the music business, and what genre do you reckon she'll go into?
Oh, Jen's nice. That's exactly what my theory was too. Because I was like, if Yui left, I was kind of like, if Yui left, it was more of the reason of artistic vision. You know, because these are artists, all of them. Even the comic band, they're all artists. So I feel like artists are always looking to evolve and to find or chase.
I mean, she could continue and
Yeah.
continue. I mean,
Was this what you really ever wanted to do? You know?
You know, there's artists out there like Sheena Ringo.
Yeah.
You know who that is? I mean,
Never heard of him.
Oh, dude, she's excellent singer. But I mean, she's been doing this for like 20 years or so. You know,
these are artists, man. They're gonna do it till the day that they die. You know?
So
yeah.
Here we go. Here's a question for Aldo. Have you met a Sakura Gaikuin girl?
What?
Have you, Aldo?
Huh?
Have you met? It's a question for you. Have you met a Sakura Gaikuin girl?
You cut out, dude.
Sorry. Have you met a Sakura Gaikuin girl?
Oh, a Sakura Gakuin girl. Yeah. I met Hana. I met Marin, Maya.
Yep, told you.
And Marina.
Damn.
They sold their soul to Aldo. I'm telling you.
So.
Well, Hana's the most memorable for me because the other ones I met kind of like at a meet and greet, so it's like really quick.
Yeah.
Hi, can you do this for me? Smile for me, whatever, and then boom, you're gone. That's it. But with Hana, we actually went to where she worked. She worked at the Amuse Cafe Theater. It's a dance troupe. Dorihime H is it, and what they do there, it's a restaurant, so they serve you food, and then they perform for you. Oh, and then after the performance, they come back out and they serve more food. It's really cool the way they do things because they're very talented. Very talented.
Awesome.
What about you, Tom? If you could pick a Sakura Gaikuin girl to meet, or if you already meet one, who would it be?
You cut out. I didn't catch that.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't know what's wrong with my mic at the minute. It keeps cutting out. What I was saying, Tom, if you could meet a Sakura Gaikuin girl, who would you want to meet?
I don't know. That's hard to say. I don't follow them as much as I did when I first got into Babymetal.
Yui back in the Sakura Gakuin days.
Well, if I could go back to the past, yeah, clearly. I am, a huge Yui fan. I've never seen anything cuter in my life on earth. I just haven't. And I got kids.
Oh!
Are they watching?
Are they watching? They best not be watching.
No, they're over now, so. No, right now, any of them, just to kind of, I would love to tour and see the process and how they do it and watch an episode being made, things like that. That's what interests me.
So, for me personally, it would be Ayami. I think she's not my style of music that she's gone into, but I find her absolutely fascinating.
Who is it?
Ayami.
Oh yeah, same. I actually like her music. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know she is. Okay.
Yeah.
I had a chance to meet her, but I didn't take it.
Oh, Aldo. He had a chance for the soul and he didn't take it.
I might marry Aldo. I'm not sure yet.
Oh.
You're married? I'm about to get a divorce real fast and move down to Texas. You need my soul?
Here we go. If you could ever meet any of the Babymetal girls, which I'm sure probably one of the two already have here, what would you say to them?
What is it now?
Who? The what? Say it again.
Sorry. If you could meet any of the Babymetal girls, what would you say to them?
I know exactly what I'd say.
What would you say?
You want a Whataburger?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go where I could go, so we won't do that. But I would do exactly what I would do. I would thank them. I'd give them a deep bow and let them know how much I respect what they do and what they've done. Because let me go ahead and tell you, it's hard damn work, and this goes over into K-pop and everything else. They work their friggin' asses off 24/7, and they don't make a shit ton of money to do it. Now, I can't speak for Sue and them now, but they work hard to give us to be able to sit and have podcasts like this and go to their shows and enjoy it. And I would do. I literally thank them and tell them how much I respect what they've done and what they do now.
Yeah. What about you, Chief?
That was way too serious. No.
I would do the same thing. I would be like, did you think that this would happen? Like the whole baby metal thing, how it has became something. But I would ask Sue, because right now that's who, like I said, Sue. I think the reason it was Yui. I was a Yui fan, but now Sue, I've been seeing the recent concerts, like Legend S, Legend Metal Galaxy, and I feel like I just like Sue's confidence now. I mean, she's confident. She's in her zone. It almost feels like she does want to do this forever, but I don't know, because it is a stage. Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. I really do. But I would ask Sue, what's the future hold for you? What do you want to do in the future? What do you specifically, artistically, want to do? Music, anything, dance. What would she like to do? That's what I would ask.
An honest answer, not an
only the Fox God knows.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she would always say only the Fox God knows.
Only the Fox God knows. I think to go back to Chief's point, it's like, what would you want them to do? We've been talking about maybe what the future has in store for them, but I think when you watch Metal Galaxy and you see the smiles on every single one of their faces at the end of that concert, I don't think there's any place that any of those girls would rather be than on that stage at that moment.
Yeah.
Sue's very professional. She's got a persona that she acts into.
She's fierce.
She's fierce, yes. She's very tough. And I think the end of that, when with the other Avengers on that stage, just seeing the girls be the girls, smiling, that really touched me, the end of that show. More because you got to see Moa and Sue. It was almost like they de-aged by 10 years. And just kind of they went back to loving it, and I love seeing that. I love seeing them enjoy it. Less of an act and more enjoyment for me, and yeah. I really like that. I really like that side. For Sue. So sometimes you ask the question, is Sue thinking about other things? But I don't think, like I said, from looking at that, I think that's a genuine response of, I don't think she would be anywhere else than on that stage with Moa at that instance. For now, anyway.
Yeah.
Joe Slag asked if you could ever meet any of the baby metal girls, say to them.
Yeah. Oh.
I would say, let me be your tour guide.
Yeah.
I want to show you my city, and I would be their tour guide. That's what I would do.
So
that's an amazing answer, Aldo. Dude, that would be so awesome.
We've got people in the chat saying, Chief, be careful. Kelly's watching this.
Oh yeah.
Don't let Kelly see this. The amount we've been praising Sue. So, yeah, exactly. James, you said that the joy on their faces from that show is undeniable. Beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
Jan says, I would ask them if they've ever considered seeking an international recording contract, as they must realise how much they could and should be earning the hard work and talent. That's a very interesting question. Could we potentially see a baby metal that's not linked to a Muse if they were to go international with an international label? Because that is not out of the realms of possibility. Personally, I think the girls are far too loyal, far too humble to do something like that.
It's like a culture thing too, right?
But yeah. Japanese artists usually stay over there.
They can anyways. That wouldn't be up to them. It's not impossible to have, for a Muse or Kobo, whatever company they offer, to have deals with major record labels. Is anybody who knows anything about K-pop, Twice is it right now. A K-pop girl group called Twice. they signed with an American national label, and you're going to start seeing that blend together because they're about the biggest in the world right now when it comes to that, and they're going to get bigger because they're going to start doing stuff with this American company.
Yeah.
Here's my question as well, guys, to you. This is mostly towards, well, it's pretty much towards, sorry, my mic is awful. Here's one for all of you guys, probably mostly aimed to Chief because of what we do. But do you think in the future that we'll see Babymetal or the Japanese music industry as a whole maybe relax on the copyright issues and the blocks or anything like that that they do?
I think it's getting stronger.
You think it's getting worse?
Yeah, 100%.
They were never like, they were never like this.
Everybody, the YouTube world itself has changed. Speaking of like algorithms and stuff like that, what Tom was saying, from my time on YouTube, I mean, when I first got on YouTube, it was like, I don't know, 2000 in high school, it was like 2012. From 2012, if I would have known YouTube was going this way, I would have been very upset because like now I feel like YouTube more. They definitely want to shut the creators out. I feel like they don't care about the creators as much as they used to. They really care about like the companies, like Amuse, and it's very noticeable too with how they treat creators and how, because creators will get, you can hum a song or like accidentally hum it. People played a G chord to test out the copyright. Played a G chord, like how? My goodness, it's a G chord, but YouTube has really cracked down on that, and they've really because I mean, obviously, the companies are the one paying them the money, you know, ad companies and stuff like that. So that's who they want to work with, is people who's paying them the money, and the creators are just there. Even though they're driving traffic, they want money, and the companies are making them the money, and so that's why YouTube has very much catered to the companies instead of the creators and stuff. You know,
well, they use you and abuse you, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
Use you to get where they are, and now it's like
exactly. We're here now, and we don't need you. That's exactly what it is. We're here. We made it. Because you can see that now, all they want to do is work with late night show hosts, big companies.
It's definitely going more commercial. It's basically TV's leeching onto YouTube now. I'm pushing
copyright strike saying that.
I know.
Yeah. I definitely feel like I've missed the mark on YouTube. I reckon if I would have started 2 years ago, I reckon I would have been able to be in a position where I've maybe cemented myself that I'd be all right. But right now, it's fucking hard. It's hard to get noticed. It's hard to do anything without getting blocked, claimed, edited, link and sync. As much as people turn around and go, we want link and sync, it doesn't get viewed as much as normal reactions. People get pissy with you when you supply them with a link and they can't work it out. You don't earn anywhere near as much on YouTube now as you used to 3 years ago with everything that's going on. I mean, people always turn around to me and go, "Oh, Neon, you've got like 200k views on one of your videos. You must be raking it in now." And I'm like, dude, that video got claimed. I earned fuck all from that. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And that's why, like, that goes back to, like I said, to people like Haytom that are so important, like I said, with my Patreon and stuff. Because if I didn't have those donations, I would be able to get myself a computer. I would be able to get the mics that I needed to do it. Unless I go into my own pocket. And unfortunately, I've never been in a position where I've been blessed with a shit ton of money to be able to do that. So I do feel like we've missed the mark there. And I'm coming on to more reactions now with Babymetal and other Japanese artists. Because you just want to have fun at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. I started this channel because I loved watching people react, and I loved geeking out with people and seeing their reactions. And I wanted to do that. Because I enjoyed watching it, I wanted to do it. And I feel like it's getting harder and harder and harder just to enjoy those simple things now on YouTube. It's
to be honest, I never actually seen other reactors. Like I ran across one video and he was like reacting to Freebird, or no, he was reacting to Bohemian Rhapsody for the first time, and I was like, "You've never heard Bohemian Rhapsody?"
Yeah,
Bohemian Rhapsody before.
Yes,
I was like, he's lying.
He's lying. You know,
yeah,
I've seen that. There's been plenty of people that turn around to me and go, "Dude, Neon, you need to react to this, react to this, react to this, react to this." And I'm like, dude, like I live under, like, I haven't done Babymetal. I don't know any of the Japanese stuff. That's why I focus on it a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's all completely new to me. It's all an area I've never never done before. Baby Metal was my window, and now Mo has just pushed me through it. And now I'm just
and that's why I started.
Yeah, and now I'm just.
I started my reactions for that reason too, because I was like, well, why don't I listen to stuff that I've actually never heard of?
But all these videos that are getting 400,000 videos on somebody going, this is the first time I listened to Nirvana, Teen Spirit. I'm like, who the fuck hasn't listened to that song? Like, I'm like, come on.
It's a movie.
They made a whole movie about Bohemian Rhapsody.
I seen one reactor and he had 1.2 million views. Linkin Park, Nothing Else Matters, and I'm like, how, man, how?
I mean, it is possible. Like, there's this guy in my Twitch stream who's never heard of anything we call, and we just meme on him all the time because he's like, "Who is Halen?"
Yeah. You see, I'm definitely in those boats. If I've heard of it and I've genuinely listened to that song, I won't react to it. If I've seen it, I won't do it. I only do things.
Yeah. If I've seen it, I usually am like, I'll jam to it.
Yeah, I don't even do that. If I've seen it, I won't do it, and that's because I don't like to lead people on. I don't want to fucking fake my reactions. That's the one thing. The one thing I pride myself on is that everything I watch is 100% the first time. I don't edit my vids because I like it to be genuine. Yes, I make mistakes in some videos. I might say the wrong band or the wrong genre or the lead singer's name completely fucking wrong. But that's because it's
there is so much out there to show you guys.
I know.
Yeah. I've been finding that out for real.
Baby Metal opened up a floodgate, a literal floodgate of music to me.
But it's not just Japan as well. I mean, I just started reacting to.
Yeah, when I went to Japan, I went to these idol shows, these underground idol shows that, they're not advertised. Nobody knows anything about them. It's a freaking bar. It's a dive bar in the underground basement. And you go down there, and I got blown away by a lot of stuff, and they put out videos and stuff. They're really small time little idol groups, dude, but they put out some badass music and put out some badass shows. And dude, I mean, there's a ton of them out there. I wish I could show you guys.
Yeah. I mean,
Japan is
crazy for stuff.
I love
it. I've been reacting to the Japanese commercials and the Japanese pranks and stuff like that, and some of those videos for me is done absolutely amazingly. Again, it's crap because they're claimed, and I don't want to link and sync those videos, so I do it purely just because I get the views and I hope I get a few subscribers from them, But seeing all that stuff is just absolutely crazy. Seeing it all for the first time and reacting to it is just it shits me up. I've been in quite a lucky position where I had my two children in a short space of time. So I had that 3-4 years where my sole focus has been on my kids. And that 4 years is there's a gap in my life a little bit where you can't listen to metal in the car anymore because you can't buy the latest album because you're changing nappies.
Can't watch TV.
You can't watch TV. You can't watch your TV shows religiously anymore because you can't.
It's great in the car with the kids.
Yeah, and there's that 4 year gap where I feel like I've lived under a goddamn rock. And then people show me videos now, and I'm like, how the fuck have I missed that? I'm like, wow, seriously. There's this video on YouTube. It's got 1.2 billion views, and I'm like, all right, okay. So I'm like 4 years too late, but let's do this.
Yeah.
So but I don't see that as a bad thing. I see it as a blessing in disguise because I get to experience all this kind of new crap again, for what feels like the first time. Another band I did a reaction to was Nightwish. I mean, I hadn't listened to Nightwish since I was a teenager. And then in the space that I last listened to them, and I found out that they had 2 singers in that space. They just released a new album. They've made a dramatic comeback with as well. And they sound freaking awesome. And this is a band that I was listening to fucking 15 years ago that I've not listened to. So it's that 10-year gap is really, really good. But like I said, going back to the stuff that I have listened to and I have reacted to is I'll tell my audience, look, guys, I used to listen to this band. I've heard this, but I haven't heard this as well. So don't ask me to go back and do that song because I'd be putting it on, basically. I'd be pulling the wool over your eyes. And that, for me, personally, I don't like doing that. I don't want to do that. So I do it for the fun, and if anybody wants to be along for the ride, for that, like I said, for that fun aspect, then yeah, you're more than
that's why I like to do my
welcome
reactions on YouTube. Yeah, because it was fun for me, and I wasn't monetized on YouTube, so like it truly, when people would be like, "You're making money," I'm like, "I'm not making anything." And I was always just kind of like, I was like, I don't care, because like that. I will say that back to the point. I do like YouTube now for the fact that if you make videos, you're gonna do it for the fun, because like me, I'm not monetized, and you know, so I do it for the fun. But there was a while where everybody could be monetized, and I seen a lot of people doing it strictly for the money, and I was just like, oh, if you're gonna make video, like they would just do things and they would fake a lot of stuff, and they were just doing it for the money, and they were just like, and I was kind of like, oh, you know, and they'd be like telling me like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you know, and you know, it just kind of like they didn't care about the audience or anything like that or fun. It was just money, you know. That's all it was.
There's a few people that I know, and they send me pictures of their like analytics and their stats for their channels, and like they're always like, the goal is like, oh, 1,000 subs, I'm gonna get monetized, I'm gonna make a shit ton of money. And that was never my goal. The money's nice, don't get me wrong. Having that little extra something is brilliant. I had a nice little burst. I went from like 500 subs to like almost 4.5k in the space of 2-3 months, thanks to Babymetal. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The fans were amazing. I enjoyed it. Thankfully, they enjoyed me, so we both got something out of it. I got monetized. I got the nice little spike of YouTube money, and I bought a new computer that's gone back into the channel. So it's they've helped me achieve that, like because of them. So for me, it's like it's an emotional attachment, not just to the music now, not just to the girls, but for the fans, that you guys, the people in my chat right now. They're the real MVPs, the real people that make the difference as well.
I'm surprised people watch me. I always feel guilty. That's I was like, why do you guys watch me?
I do that sometimes. I look back on some of my videos and I'm just like, oh my god, how do people watch me?
There's always this guilty. I always feel like this guilty. You know, Twitch now, people like subscribing to me, and I'm like, why are you subscribing to me? You don't have to subscribe to me. I feel so guilty. I'm like, good.
It's very obvious when a neon video comes up.
Hello, guys!
You got the fingers.
I don't even know where that came from. I just don't know. It just started off like that.
Say that. No.
I don't even know where that came from.
Anyway, never mind.
But it took me a couple of videos to get into like my groove thing of just being able to relax, to react. Because of my first couple of videos was very much like I was on like I must have been like sniffing coke or something like that, because it was very much like, hello guys, in today's video we are going to be reacting to Babymetal. You know, because you want people to like you. You know, you want somebody to go, oh dude, you're different, you're wacky or something like that. You're looking for anything to pull somebody in. You know, and it wasn't until like 10 videos later I was like, okay, dude, just chill the fuck out, just you know. But you don't know that when you look at it. But when you watch those videos back and you're watching yourself, you're like, oh my fucking god. You know, like there are some cheesy videos at the beginning of my channel life that I'm just like,
oh yeah, I deleted all the videos on my channel, and I was kind of like so happy inside. I was like, yes. Even though everybody else was upset, I was like, I don't have to freaking, you know, watch myself ever again.
Oh man. So, but that's the hardest thing, is trying to find that pull as well of trying to do that, because you want people to like you. You're trying to do something different. You're trying to gain traction, subs. So like I said, Babymetal for me. When I started doing that, I can't even remember. You know what? I can't even remember how it happened. Someone just came into me and goes, dude, have you heard of Babymetal? And I was like, no. He goes, dude, you have to react to Babymetal. And I had quite a few people going, you need to do this. And when obviously I started, I was looking for something to do. And Babymetal started off as, I want to do this reaction because I'd like some views, I want some subs. And it's just, it's not that anymore. It's a love now. It's a passion.
Yeah.
I love the band. I love the girls.
Community, bro.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's the Babymetal community.
I found new friends. I feel like you guys
you do. The community is absolutely fucking awesome. Everybody goes, oh, you fell down the foxhole. Man, I got fucking RKO'd down the fucking foxhole.
Yeah.
Fucking someone just drop kicked me down there.
Dude, some of the best friends I've made have been because of Babymetal, because of the Babymetal community. You know, because of them, I went to Japan. Because of them, I get to go to these different cities and follow them on tour. And these are trusted friends now. You know, they're not just random strangers anymore. They're actually trusted friends. You know.
One concert, I met a group of people, and a whole bunch of people, and you bomb them during the show because everybody's there just like an idiot. That's what I do. And then you tell them afterwards, and we still email and talk back and forth. Been in my life. We sat there at the concert and exchanged information to send videos and pictures that we had all taken back and forth. And I never would have, done. I've been to many concerts in my life. I've played in many concerts and shows, and I've never done that. Granted, they didn't have that shit when I was younger, but.
I'm amazed that I've met so many people from around the world. I mean, people from Germany, people from the UK, and people from Japan. I mean, I got a really, really, really good friend in Japan now. You know, that Kenji. He's he's my buddy, man.
I've got to say, like I said,
I would have never met him if it hadn't been for Babymetal.
That's the one thing I'm lacking. I feel like I need a friend from Japan, man. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I'm missing. I need a pen pal or something from Japan.
Dude, that's how. I mean, Facebook and and then when you go to the concerts here in the States, or there in the UK too, Japanese fans follow Babymetal around, dude. You'll meet them there. Yeah. That's how I met a lot of them, is at the Babymetal concerts here. I didn't. Once I went to Japan, I got to meet a lot more, but the ones that I initially met were the ones that I met at the concert here.
So, all right, dudes. So, does any of you just want to say any last words? Because we are on 2 hours now. We are over 2 hours.
Oh,
yes.
That was fun.
It has flown by. So, it's been absolutely amazing.
Cramp in my leg.
Yeah, it's been. I know I'm gonna be walking around. I've got to stretch my legs now. I'm like, it's been absolutely amazing. Chief, dude, my man. Thank you so much, mate, for jumping on and agreeing to do this. I really, really appreciate
you guys.
So, we'd like I said. So, like I said, but all three of you are welcome back for future episodes as well. I want to try and make it a regular thing. There's been a bit of a gap between episode 1 and episode 2 because I was waiting on T-Mac, who never got back to me in time. But T-Mac is going to be on episode 3.
Ooh.
So I can confirm that now, that T-Mac is going to be on episode 3. So I've got my reactor for that. So I'm just going to try and find, obviously, another 1 or 2 people to jump on for episode 3, so hopefully it won't be such of a massive gap. But I would love to have go back and maybe do an episode with Chief, T-Mac, and Rob all on one episode. I feel like that could be a fun time. I might actually make that episode 3. Actually, that's a good idea. It's a good idea. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. So. I did I tell you guys I stood close to Koba, so that's where that's come from. His genes, his intelligence rubbed off on me.
Radiated off.
So I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who's been in the chat as well. You guys have been absolutely slamming it. Absolutely fantastic to be here for 2 hours as well. I kind of looked at the time and I was like, oh, we've only been doing it for an hour. Then I looked again, I was like, oh shit, it's 2. Which is really, really
supposed to go to work.
So, like I say, guys, chat, everybody's been absolutely amazing. Thank you all for tuning in to podcast.
That was
fun.
And this, so yeah, guys, this is Neon Dis signing off.
See everybody later.
And we'll see everybody.
Love you, Yui.
Love you, Yui. Moa, if you're watching this, call me. Alright, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you guys all next time on the Neon channel for this episode 3. Bye, guys. Take care. Have a good night. See you. Bye, guys. Take care. Oh.